yes, ban TikTok. And then they're going, yeah, but how are you going to do that? The kids will just have a workaround because they tried to ban it at what was it, like Texas A&M. Well, okay, they're not banning cell service. It's not that the USA is not firewalling it. Texas A&M firewalled it. Okay, well, turn your Wi-Fi off, and then T-Mobile will let you access TikTok. But if it is firewalled, and that's the one thing I'm not sure how the USA could do it. I have a VPN. I've got a couple of them. That's how I watch BBC things that are first run. Suckers. Is I tell my VPN, yeah, find a server in England. I'm in jolly old England. Run your first run BBC show, and I shan't pay a license fee. Thank you. That's what I say.
Here's Republican Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma this week on the TikTok subject.
Do you expect a ban on TikTok in the United States, a nationwide ban signed by the president? And what's the time frame?
I do at some point. I can't tell you the time frame, and it's going to be either that TikTok has to cut away from the Communist Chinese, so it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but it can't run through China and be run by the Communist Chinese, or a total ban on it. But we can't allow the Communist Chinese to dominate our culture and our technology.
And here's if you're someone who's a contrarian and you say, "Oh, there's a commie behind every Chinese company, isn't there?" Joe McCarthy. What is this? The 50s? Yeah, there is the Chinese Communist Party with its beak in absolutely every business in China. That's how it is a business in China. It makes the CCP money, or you don't get to export widgets or lawn chairs to Walmart or whatever. They have a piece of everything. You're driving around I-5. You ever see the connexes that say Costco, COSCO? That's the Chinese Overseas Shipping Company. It's part owned by the People's Liberation Army, which is not a national army. It's the army of the Chinese Communist Party. They're an enterprise. Of course, they all get a piece of the action. And yes, the Chinese Ministry for State Security, if you're going to do a tech startup, they're going to say, great, where do we implant our malware? It's like, why wouldn't you? Just ask yourself, if America is giving away H-1B visas and student visas, why wouldn't you plant people at the UW hypercomputer super duper laser lab? Of course, you'd be a fool not to. So just give yourself a chance in that one, and just assume they're not benign. And if we're gonna give them a free tunnel into our data, then yes, they will take it.
Yeah, and Senator Marco Rubio has really led the way here on calls to ban TikTok. And he admits, look, everybody loves funny cat video, but as you said,
yeah, I saw one the other. Oh, go ahead.
This is about the data.
Well, I actually think we should pass a bill that bans TikTok. I have the only bipartisan, bicameral bill that actually does that. And I think Mark's bill takes steps in that direction. It gives the administration the power to do what I think they already have the power to do. But in either respect, you have this growing consensus up here at a time when there's not a lot of consensus that this is important. Here's why it's important. It's not the videos. Look, there's some stuff on there that's disturbing, and there's some stuff on TikTok that I think is pretty catchy and pretty creative. It's not the content per se, it's the data, the amount of data that is collected. And data is the most valuable commodity in the world. Now, they all control data, Facebook, Twitter, Snap, all of these, Instagram. The difference is the data here in the fastest growing app in America is controlled by a company that's owned by a Chinese company, and that Chinese company, ByteDance, is under the complete control of the Communist Party of China.
He was blowing snot. That's exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If I could recommend just one book this weekend, just one book that lays it out, you'll want to pick up Red Roulette by Desmond Shum. Born in China, raised in Hong Kong, married someone who got herself connected in the Chinese Communist Party, and of course they became gazillionaires. And his inside look at, and he is now a gazillionaire living in London with his son, and he's now a gazillionaire simply because who they knew and the fact that they joined the Chinese Communist Party, and you'll get an insider's look of how that sausage is made. SHUM, Desmond Shum, Red Roulette, terrific book, quick read because he wrote it as a "Why I'm Dead" letter to his son. Because of course, if he ever set foot in Hong Kong again, he'd be black bagged and he'd never be heard from again. One of the world's richest men, Jack Ma, said something offhand in Davos, Switzerland, and he disappeared for 8 months, and he came back funding Chinese rural Chinese schools and all
Here
that
to before.
because he runs he invented, help me out, Alibaba. Um, and then he was going to do a Chinese rival to PayPal, Alibaba Pay or Alipay or whatever. And then he said the wrong thing. He got a little too free enterprise, didn't he? And so, and I really got to say, this is where the news really fails Americans, because 1.6 billion people in China. How many are in the Chinese Communist Party? Try around 100 million. It is the ticket to success, just like it was in the Soviet Union. The KGB was the ticket to success in the Soviet Union. Better hospitals, better apartments, better grocery stores. Same deal with the Chinese Communist Party. If you're in the party and you're over here going to medical school or whatever, they're going to influence you because they're going to send someone over. Can you please pick them up at SeaTac and drop them off outside the Bangor sub base? And you're going to say, wow, that sounds really dicey. I don't want to do that. And they're going to say, what, is that your niece that applied to People's Medical School number 9 in Beijing, the most prestigious medical school in China? Well, yes, it is. Oh, we lost her application. Could you maybe look around the Bangor sub base on the Kitsap Peninsula in Washington with our guy when he arrives from Beijing? That's exactly what they do. And so, I mean, anyway, like I say, I could talk forever about this, but pick up a book called Red Roulette by Desmond Shum, S-H-U-M.